The marble halls of the Metropolitan Supreme Court gleamed with morning light as Zara Loomis clutched her briefcase with trembling hands. At 22, she had worked tirelessly to secure this prestigious internship, though her true purpose was far more complex than anyone knew. Beneath the skin tone modifier on her wrist, her natural violet skin marked her as Stellaran, an alien from the planet Stellara, sent to study Earth's most sophisticated system of justice. Her people had evolved beyond emotions and moral complexity centuries ago, making decisions through pure logic algorithms. But Earth's judicial system, built on abstract concepts like fairness, mercy, and rehabilitation, fascinated Stellaran researchers. Zara had volunteered for this assignment, curious about how humans could create order from such messy, emotional foundations. She adjusted her cream blouse and black pencil skirt, trying to project confidence she didn't feel. The head administrator, Mrs. Chen, led her through corridors lined with portraits of stern-faced judges whose painted eyes seemed to follow her every step. Judge Thorne is particular, Mrs. Chen said carefully. He has the highest standards in this entire courthouse. Most interns request transfers within a month. He's brilliant but ruthless. Don't take it personally when he tears apart your work. They stopped before an oak door with a brass nameplate, Judge Marcus Thorne. Zara's analytical mind catalogued facts she'd researched: 42 years old, appointed to the bench at 35, reputation for harsh but fair rulings, personal life notably private. Mrs. Chen knocked and entered. The office was impressive: floor-to-ceiling bookshelves, mahogany desk, windows overlooking the city. But what captured Zara's attention was the man standing by those windows. Judge Marcus Thorne turned, and Zara felt something her species wasn't supposed to experience. Her pulse quickened, her skin flushed warm, her carefully maintained composure wavered. He was tall and commanding, with dark hair silvered at the temples, sharp features, and eyes the color of winter storms, penetrating gray that seemed to see through every defense. Marcus had been reviewing briefs when his administrator announced the new intern. He expected another eager law student. What he got was a young woman who looked at him with unusual intensity, not intimidation or hero worship, but analytical curiosity, as though she were studying a fascinating specimen. She was striking in an understated way. Dark hair pulled back severely, hazel eyes, he didn't know they were colored contacts hiding violet, delicate features with an otherworldly quality he couldn't quite define. Something about her made his carefully controlled world tilt slightly off its axis. "Miss Loomis," he said, his voice deep and measured. "Welcome. I trust Mrs. Chen has explained that I demand excellence, not effort. Can you deliver excellence?" Zara met his gaze directly, which seemed to surprise him. Most people looked away from that penetrating stare. "I graduated top of my class, Your Honor. I didn't come here for participation trophies. I came to learn from the best." A ghost of a smile touched Marcus's lips. "Bold. Let's see if you can back it up." He handed her a thick case file. "Read this, draft a preliminary brief addressing the Fourth Amendment issues, and have it on my desk by tomorrow morning. Most interns need a week. You have 18 hours. Understood?" Zara took the file without hesitation. Over the following days, Zara worked with intense focus. She arrived before dawn and stayed past midnight, her Stellaran physiology requiring less sleep than humans. Every assignment Marcus gave her, she completed with precision that surprised even him. Marcus found himself fascinated. Her legal analysis was razor-sharp, her writing elegant, her arguments logically bulletproof. But more than that, she didn't cower before him like others did. When he challenged her reasoning, she defended it with passion and logic. When he pushed harder, she pushed back. He began finding excuses to call her into his office. A question about a citation. Feedback on her research. Each conversation stretched longer than necessary. He noticed details he shouldn't, the way she tilted her head when thinking, the graceful movements despite obvious nervousness, the subtle scent that wasn't quite like any perfume he'd encountered. It was dangerous, this growing awareness. Marcus had built his career on discipline and control. He'd never allowed personal feelings to compromise professional judgment. But Zara was testing boundaries he'd thought were absolute. 3 weeks into her internship, Zara was alone in the law library late one evening, researching property precedents. She was so absorbed she didn't hear Marcus enter until he spoke. "Still here, Miss Loomis?" She jumped, nearly dropping the heavy volume. "Judge Thorne. I was finishing research on the waterfront zoning case." One dinner became 2, then 5, then countless stolen evenings where Damien would pick her up after the shop closed and they'd explore the city together. He showed her his world, rooftop restaurants and private galleries, while she showed him hers, hidden parks and small bakeries where nobody knew his name. 6 weeks after they met, Damien took her to his penthouse. The apartment was stunning, floor-to-ceiling windows overlooking the city, modern furniture, expensive art, but it felt empty somehow, like a showroom rather than a home. "This is where you live?" Zara asked, walking to the windows. "This is where I exist," Damien corrected, coming to stand behind her. "But when I'm with you, I feel like I'm actually living." He turned her to face him, his hands framing her face. "Zara, I know this is fast. I know we come from different worlds. But I'm falling in love with you." Zara's breath caught. She should tell him the truth now, that their worlds were more different than he could imagine, that she was literally alien, that loving her violated every rule of her mission. Instead, she kissed him. Damien responded with desperate intensity, pulling her close, his hands tangling in her hair. They stumbled toward his bedroom, shedding clothes between kisses. When they made love, it was tender and passionate, Zara experiencing physical pleasure her species had supposedly evolved beyond. Afterward, wrapped in his arms, Zara knew she'd crossed a line she couldn't uncross. She'd fallen in love with Damien Cross, and nothing would ever be the same. "Stay with me," Damien whispered against her hair. "Not just tonight. Stay in my life." "Yes," Zara breathed, knowing she was choosing him over everything, her mission, her people, her entire purpose for being on Earth. But neither of them knew that Damien's mother had already learned about their relationship. And Victoria Cross was not a woman who allowed obstacles to her plans. 3 months into their relationship, Zara was closing Bloom and Petals when a sleek black car pulled up outside. A woman emerged, elegant, cold, every inch of her designer clothing screaming wealth and power. Zara recognized her instantly from the society pages, Victoria Cross, Damien's mother. "Miss Vex." Victoria entered without invitation, her eyes sweeping the small shop with barely concealed disdain. "We need to talk." "About what?" Zara kept her voice steady. "About my son. About this little fantasy you've been indulging." Victoria pulled off her gloves with deliberate precision. "Did you really think I wouldn't find out? That I'd allow this to continue? Damien and I love each other. That's not a fantasy. Love." Victoria laughed coldly. "How quaint. Tell me, Miss Vex, what do you think happens when the novelty wears off? When Damien realizes you can't navigate his world, can't help his career, can't give him the life he deserves? Maybe he doesn't want the life you've planned for him." Victoria's expression hardened. "I built Cross Technologies from nothing. Every success Damien has is because of foundations I laid. And I won't watch him throw it away for a flower shop girl with no background, no education, no social standing." She pulled an envelope from her purse. "Inside this is a check for $500,000. More than enough to start over somewhere else. Take it and disappear from Damien's life." Zara stared at the envelope. "You're trying to buy me off." "I'm offering you a dignified exit. Because the alternative is I destroy you. One word from me and you'll lose this shop, your reputation, everything. Damien won't let you. Won't he? Victoria's smile was cruel. I'm his mother. You're a girl he's known 3 months. Who do you think he'll believe when I express concern about your unusual behavior? Your lack of verifiable history? The mysterious gaps in your background? The threat was clear. Victoria had investigated and found the inconsistencies in Zara's fabricated identity. I don't want your money. Zara held out the envelope. And I'm not leaving Damien. Victoria's eyes flashed with fury. Then you've made a terrible mistake. Within a week, Zara's life began unraveling. Her landlord suddenly refused to renew her shop's lease, citing complaints. Her supplier cancelled their contract without explanation. Anonymous reviews appeared online calling her work subpar, her prices exploitative. When Zara told Damien, his reaction was immediate fury. My mother did this. I'll handle it. Damien, maybe she's right. Maybe I don't belong in your world. Stop. He pulled her close. You belong with me. That's the only world that matters. 2 weeks later, Damien proposed. Not with fanfare or public display, but quietly in her apartment, with a ring he'd chosen himself, a simple band with a violet stone that matched her hidden true skin. Marry me, Zara. Be my wife. Let's build our own life together, away from my mother's interference. Yes, Zara whispered through tears. Yes. But Victoria wasn't finished. She began working on Damien himself, showing up at his office with concerns. Private investigators had found irregularities in Zara's background. Health inspectors were questioning the shop's practices. Business partners were expressing worry about Damien's judgment. She's not who she claims to be, Victoria told him one evening. Everything about her is fabricated. Don't you wonder why? Damien defended Zara, but tiny seeds of doubt were planted. Why were there no childhood photos? Why did she have no family? Why did she sometimes say things that suggested she'd never experienced basic human experiences? The pressure mounted. The company's board questioned his focus. Society pages speculated about his mysterious fiancée. Everywhere Damien turned, his mother's influence created problems. Late one night, after another argument with his mother, Damien came home exhausted. I need time to figure this out. To find a way to make this work without destroying everything. Zara felt her heart breaking. You're choosing her over me. I'm trying to find a way to choose both. Just give me a week. No. Zara's voice was firm. I won't be something you have to figure out how to fit into your life. That night, while Damien slept, Zara made her decision. She couldn't tell him she was pregnant, not when he was already drowning in doubt. She couldn't reveal her alien nature, Victoria would use it to destroy them both. So she simply disappeared, leaving her engagement ring and a note, I won't be the woman you have to apologize for. She took a bus to Portland, changed her name, and vanished from Damien Cross's life completely. Combined and shortened. 18 months later, Zara lived in Portland under the name Zara Vex Martin, running a small flower cart and raising her daughter alone. Luna was 6 months old, with Damien's whiskey eyes and hints of violet in her skin that Zara had to carefully conceal. She'd thought she'd never see Damien again. Then one morning, he walked up to her flower cart. Zara. Her name was a broken whisper. She turned, her heart stopping. Damien looked thinner, haunted. How did you find me? 18 months and 4 private investigators. His eyes found Luna in her carrier, sleeping peacefully. She's mine. Yes. Damien's legs seemed to give out. He sank onto a nearby bench, staring at his daughter. Why didn't you tell me? You were choosing your mother over me. A baby would have just been another complication. I was trying to protect you. I didn't need protection. I needed you to choose me. Zara's voice broke. But there's more. Something I should have told you from the beginning. She deactivated her skin modifier. The change rippled across her body, her skin shifting to luminous violet. Luna stirred, her own skin flickering between human and violet. I'm not human, Zara said. I'm Valorian. From a planet called Valoria. I came to study human emotions, but then I fell in love with you. Luna is half human, half Valorian. That's why I left. I knew your mother would use this against us. Damien stared, processing. Then he reached out, touching her violet cheek with trembling fingers. You're alien. Yes. And our daughter is half alien. I don't care. The words came out fierce. Zara, I've spent 18 months in hell, missing you, hating myself for letting you go. I don't care what you are. I love you. I love her. I want my family back. Damien returned to New York determined. He confronted Victoria in her penthouse, bringing photos of Luna and Zara. This is my daughter. This is the woman I love. You will accept them or you will never see me again. Victoria's face twisted. That woman is an alien, Damien. She's not even human. I've had her investigated. I know what she is. And I love her more for trusting me with the truth. Damien's voice was steel. You have a choice, mother. Accept my family or lose your son. Forever. I'll expose her. The government will take that child. Try it. And I'll go public first. I'll tell the world I'm in love with an alien. I'll make Zara and Luna celebrities before you can hurt them. Your society friends will be powerless against me. Victoria realized she'd lost. You'd throw away everything for her? Everything you value, yes. Because what I value is love. Real, messy, complicated love. Something you've never understood. Damien returned to Portland. He got down on one knee in front of Zara's flower cart, in front of curious onlookers, and proposed again. Marry me. I don't care about my mother's approval or society's opinion or anything else. I want you. I want Luna. I want our family. Your mother can accept us or stay out of our lives. But Zara, I'm choosing you. Every time, for the rest of my life, I'm choosing you. Zara said yes. They married a month later in a small ceremony. Zara's violet skin glowed softly as she said her vows, no longer hiding who she truly was. Luna giggled in her grandmother's arms, not Victoria, who'd been excluded, but Damien's aunt who'd accepted them with open arms. Damien went public about Zara's origins, framing it as humanity's first contact with peaceful alien life. The world was shocked, fascinated, ultimately accepting. Zara became an ambassador between Valoria and Earth. Her people recalled her for emotional contamination, but Zara chose permanent exile to stay with her family. No regrets? Damien asked one night, holding both his girls. None, Zara whispered, watching Luna sleep between them, her skin flickering between violet and human in dreams. You're worth every world I left behind. And in that moment, wrapped in love that had survived interference, separation, and the vast distance between planets, they proved that some bonds transcend all boundaries, even those between worlds. The Endiri triclode can make mistakes. Please double-check responses.